Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had an amazing week and have got a fantastic weekend planned ahead of you. Today, guys, we're going to be going over one of the biggest opportunities that the crypto space currently has to offer, and that is with Polkadot, and in actual fact, with the Parachains to come out of Polkadot. Polkadot is essentially having its smart contract moment, where you are going to see the equivalent of dApps. However, they're not really dApps. They're their kind of own blockchain that just utilize the underlying Polkadot scalability, throughput, etc., go live. And we're going to talk about that in this video. And these are, of course, Parachains. I'm going to be sharing with you two Parachains that I'm going to be taking part in. I took part in the Parachain auction or the crowd loans on Kusama for both of these projects, and I'm going to be mimicking that on Polkadot, as they have done very well for me so far, and I believe they're going to do very well on Polkadot. And in actual fact, there's a huge opportunity here that I would like to alert you all to. So we have Polkadot here. All systems go. The wait is over. Parachains launch is here. So first of all, what are Parachains? We have done other videos on this where we had kind of predicted, if you will, or speculated on the fact that we were going to see Parachains this year. I think Polkadot have been very strategic in when they've actually released this. They've kind of been ready for a little while now. They had the audit and they were just waiting for the governance vote on Polkadot to actually say, yeah, let's go ahead and launch them, or let's go ahead and start rolling out the auctions. And that is essentially here. So we've kind of spoken about this before. Essentially what you have in the middle here is Polkadot, the Polkadot blockchain, and these little kind of squares with the dots inside are Parachains that are utilizing the actual Polkadot network. So about Parachains, this is blockchain unbounded. Parachains are advanced next generation layer 1 blockchains that transcend the limits of legacy networks. Specialized and interconnected Parachains make up a diverse ecosystem of independent platforms, communities, and economies, improving the way we connect online. So that is Parachains. Here we've got Parachains equals possibilities. While other blockchain protocols only allow developers to build dApps using smart contracts, Polkadot gives them full control over their underlying blockchain itself. This flexibility gives the Parachain developers the maximum freedom to optimize for any of their use cases, which means better and more secure dApps for services overall. So this is kind of Polkadot's model, Polkadot's way of doing things. You know, we know Ethereum has smart contracts, CARDANO has smart contracts, SOLANA has smart contracts, Algorand has smart contracts, and you can build dApps with those smart contracts, whereas Polkadot has kind of took a different route. You know, they came up with Parachains, which is kind of the equivalent, but there's many trade-offs that take place. And down here, you have some of those trade-offs. So if we start at the top, the legacy blockchain, so essentially they're referring to Ethereum and anybody that does kind of smart contract dApp-based development. One size fits all. With the Parachains, they're specialized. With the legacy blockchain system, they're isolated. Most blockchains are like walled gardens, cut off from each other and unable to communicate, prohibiting the free flow of data and commerce. Whereas with Parachains, they're interoperable, they're interconnected. Gavin Wood, the creator of Polkadot, originally worked, and I believe he wrote the Ethereum virtual machine. I think he played that much of a significant role within Ethereum and the founding of it. He worked with Vitalik, he worked with Charles. He's a very, very impressive cryptographer. He's a doctor, or he's a doctorate. And his vision, why he left Ethereum, was essentially he looked, and him and Vitalik had this disagreement. Vitalik believed in like a maximalist view, Ethereum, one blockchain to rule them all, and Gavin said, look, I think the future's interoperable, it's interconnected, and it's inter-blockchain. So this is the next one. Limited scalability on the legacy blockchains. Transactions are processed one by one, leading to bottlenecks, network congestion, high gas fees, etc. He's basically just doting on Ethereum there, whereas Parachains are scalable. I think 1,000 transactions per second some of these blockchains are going to be able to do. And we're going to talk about the two Parachains that I'm absolutely going to be aping into and how you can actually get involved. I'm going to do a follow-up in more detail in regards to both of these parachains and exactly how you can partake in the crowd loans and what that involves. Legacy blockchains, difficult to upgrade, seamless on-chain upgrades on Parachain for Parachains on Polkadot. Legacy blockchains, no financial agency, on-chain treasury for Parachains, no clear decision-making, built-in customized governance, difficult and cost-effective to secure, built-in security. That's the benefit of these parachains utilizing it's very, very smart. We have tried to explain how the Polkadot kind of network works and how its dApps or parachains are going to be built on top of it. It's very complicated. It's probably one of the most complicated projects I've ever had to look into, but you know, it's complicated for a reason. Difficult and costly to build and maintain. Streamlined development with Substrate, and I believe that's the language they're talking about. Low and transparent fees, highly unpredictable fees, limited transaction types, any type of data. You know, this is what we're looking at. This is what the future looks like. I mean, I think these parachains are going to do amazing, and certainly two of the ones that we're into have huge backers. You know, and it goes on about parachains as autonomous agents, parachains as digital nation states, etc., etc. This is something we're amazingly excited about, and I want to alert this to all of your attentions, and I think there's a real buck to be made here. That's not financial advice, just something I'm going to be doing with the expectations that it's going to be very profitable and successful as an investor. So about the auctions, Parachain slot auctions. Parachains connect to Polkadot by leasing a slot on the relay chain for up to 96 weeks at a time, so nearly 2 years. I think that's just about 2 years. With the option to renew. So once you've won your slot, and how you win your slot is essentially by the parachains that are looking to deploy on Polkadot, essentially bidding DOT, and they bid typically other people's DOT in the form of a crowd loan. It gets locked into Polkadot and then released after 2 years, and they can choose to bid again or however they choose to do it. Parachain slots are assigned by an on-chain auction with auction winners locked up a bond in DOT for the duration of the lease, so 2 years. Auctions and crowd loans raise the bar for blockchain projects, incentivizing them to demonstrate their technology and gain community support prior launch. It's very community orientated. How the auctions work, talks about bonding, auction costs, crowd loans, auction duration and slots. Please come over to the Polkadot website and check all this out. We will be going over a tutorial on how to set up a Polkadot wallet. The Polkadot JS wallet is the kind of Polkadot go-to Polkadot wallet, and this is going to enable you to interact with these crowd loans. The auction time table. So this is the kind of slots that they're auctioning. The first auction is going to start on the 11th of November this year, and this will end on the 13th. So within that time, it will end on the 13th, but the bidding will end on the 18th, and you will see a parachain go live in this time period. And it goes over, you know, auction starts on the 23rd of December, ending period, etc., etc. for batch 2. So this is batch 1, of course, this is batch 2, and then so on and so forth. I think there's 100 slots that they can be given, but ultimately my two main candidates for slots that I think are going to be allocated is Akala, which essentially is the DeFi hub. They're a lot more than that in many respects. They have big backing from Coinbase. They're an extremely impressive project. We got in on Karura, which of course is the Akala on Kusama, the Canary network for Polkadot, the kind of trial. And we've done very well out of Karura. We still hold all our Karura and we're interoperating with it. And one thing that I like about Akala is they offer a liquid staking solution or a liquid crowd loan solution. So you'll notice that it mentioned on the auctions that if you if you decide to participate and give your tokens over to the crowd loan for Akala, essentially, theoretically, they'd be locked up for 2 years, and then you'd get them back. The Polkadot blockchain would release them to the people who partake. But with Akala, there is that method. They also have another method where it's a liquid crowd loan solution, where essentially you'll get an LC DOT token. Your DOT will get locked up. That's a definite. That's how the Polkadot works. But you'll get an LC DOT token, which will be kind of pegged to Polkadot, have its own trading pair, and you'll be able to kind of use that. That'll be issued to you when they go live. So it's very interesting, and it's, in my opinion, going to be very profitable. The Karura one was profitable, and I think this one will be as well. from a investment standpoint. Please come over to Acala .network. That's their website, and check it out. And then the other one that I'm going to be partaking in, which I partook in on Kusama, and it was extremely profitable, was Moon River on Kusama. And this, of course, is Moonbeam, which is the Polkadot version. Now, you will interact with these. I'm going to be using the Polkadot JS or JS wallet or browser extension. You'll have to get in on Moonbeam through their app, I believe, and then on Acala you can do it kind of through the JS extension, or you can do it from the app. So if you're used to Kusama and used to how the auctions worked on there, you'll already be very native. And I'm going to cover these projects in more. Acala's the DeFi hub. Moonbeam is kind of like its own smart contract platform that utilizes the scalability on Polkadot, so that the back end's already built in. These guys just facilitate it. Expand to new chains powered by Moonbeam, and Ethereum compatible smart contract Parachain on Polkadot. This is very, very interesting. And of course they are Ethereum compatible and kind of cross-chain. Super interesting, these two projects, but we're going to cover them individually in a lot more detail. But the reason I made this video was really to highlight to you that there's a huge opportunity right now in the crypto space, and that is to get involved with these Parachain auctions, with these crowd loans. Remember, the vast majority will involve locking up your DOT for 2 years within the Parachain, within Polkadot. And that's a kind of trade-off that you've got to work out. So you don't lose your Polkadot, you will miss out on the staking rewards, but you will get your underlying DOT that you partook with a Parachain in, or the crowd loan in at the end. And of course you'll get, typically, for example, me partaking in Karura's auction on Kusama, I got gifted the Karura token, and I got gifted Moon River on Kusama for the Moonbeam auction. So very complicated. I don't want to complicate you too much, but please do some due diligence into this. We're going to cover it more on the channel. We did say that this was coming and that you were going to get Parachains. And ultimately, this is really going to drive the price for the underlying token that runs all this, Polkadot, the governance token, DOT. Very smart how they've done things. I'm going to love and leave you on that note, guys. Very long-winded video, but I don't want anybody to miss out on this opportunity that's interested. We are going to keep you up to date. Let me know what you think in the comment section, if it's something you're going to be partaking in. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. If you've enjoyed the video, I like as always appreciate it, so as a comment. And I'll catch you all in the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching.